Welcome back to the capsON Sports Podcast. My name is Tyler Blumenstick, joined by Nick Tobias, Sam Meehan, and Anthony Mano. It is finally week 17 of the NFL season. We made it. We're here. It's the end of the road. A very tough week to handicap traditionally, just because you don't know who's playing full games. You might get an injury report saying like XYZ is going to play the game, and then it's halftime and the game renders meaningless, and there's nothing that you can do about it because you placed the bet before the game started. How are we doing today? What are we doing?
Well, it's week 17, and the Giants are still in playoff contention.
It's a miracle somehow.
It kind of
5-10, but
it's like this. It's the same thing every year. I feel like the Giants are always playing a must-win game the last week of the season every year.
not the past few years. They've been eliminated around like a little before this, but it's nice. But
sports.
They've definitely had the opportunity to play spoiler in the past couple of years for some other teams, or if not to eliminate them, make it very difficult for them to get to the playoffs in the first place. But they fall short of those opportunities too. So week 17 in a playoff situation, man, it's gonna be a fun.
We'll see what Daniel Jones is made of here.
Yeah, there's a lot of playoff implications on the line. Not necessarily teams making it or not making it, but like different seeding stuff with more teams making the playoffs this year. Like obviously somebody wants to see the team from the NFC.
Yeah, because
they don't want to see
you want that 2 seed because you want that extra home game in either side. Like especially, I don't think Buffalo wants to go to Pittsburgh. I think they want it the other way around. So.
All right,
so it'll be a lot of fun.
How about that? How about we piggyback? I'm going to piggyback off of that Buffalo talk right here. I'm going to start with my easy money of the week. It's going to be Buffalo -1 at home against the Miami Dolphins. And Sammy talks about how home field is going to be important. And Buffalo just announced today that they're going to let in about like 16,000 fans or something like that.
I think it was 6,700.
Okay, well, drop the one and it's 6,700. So they definitely want to play at home. They definitely don't want to lose this game. And a -1 for a team that's kind of been rolling an offense that doesn't stop. Barring that they rest any players, granted Josh Allen or any other offensive weapons, they're supposed to maybe sign Kenny Stills. Who knows if we'll see him this week. But still, give me Buffalo -1 at home. I think that's one of the easiest picks that you could have this week.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be resting anybody because I think they want to just keep it rolling. Like, they're not like an older team that really needs, this extra week of rest like they're giving Big Ben. They're going to keep rolling. Just, I think, win this game and move on to the couple home games with the Buffalo crowd. It's going to be crazy.
Agreed. Anything else on that game before we move on? All right, who wants it? Somebody take it. Somebody go. Give me an easy money. As easy as it gets in week 17.
Sam, let me hand you $50 right now. What do you do with the $50 that I give you?
The $50 you're going to give me, I'm going to put on the Steelers +10 against Cleveland.
I love it. I love it.
Really? Even with Duck Hodges?
No, it's
Mason Rudolph.
It's Mason Rudolph.
Okay, and what's the difference?
All the receivers still being out for Cleveland and that Pittsburgh defense still being very, very good.
Okay.
That's what's up.
So, wait, I just want to jump in on that. I think Jarvis Landry and Rashard Higgins are going to be back. They're expected to come back. So,
and they're probably going to get Donovan Peoples-Jones, too. I'm assuming they're going to be back to full strength. And
God.
It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Now, I'm still sticking with Pittsburgh.
I just think this defense is too good. I mean, you can only sit so many people because you have a 53-man roster or 52.
Mike Tomlin said earlier this week that, Big Ben's going to be rested, but that's going to be it. Maybe lessen the load on James Conner, but they don't run the ball well anyway.
There's no load on James Conner.
Yeah, because Mike Tomlin said it's still a game. We're still going to play. And, I think Pittsburgh would love to just knock Cleveland out of the playoff picture.
That's the thing with this. Like
that defense is going to have one of their better games this season. I see.
I agree because Pittsburgh got embarrassed 3 weeks in a row. They lost their undefeated streak. The talk of the town is basically like, oh, Pittsburgh's losing it. They're going to be a first round exit, and that's going to be it. And I don't think Mike Tomlin's a guy that wants that to happen. I don't think he's a guy that will allow it to happen. I think he's on this team, and 10 points, even on the road, it's a divisional game. I mean, not like Mason Rudolph can't do anything that Big Ben hasn't been doing all year. I mean, that receiving core is literally Deontay Johnson, Juju Smith-Schuster, and what's his face? I'm drawing a blank here. Chase Claypool.
Claypool? There
Yeah.
you go.
That was bad.
Hines Ward. Do you think about Hines Ward?
Hines Ward, Antoine Randall L back in the day. But no, they're more of like a quick release dink and dunk. I don't know if that's more so because Big Ben's not mobile, can't move out of the pocket, and he can't buy himself time if he doesn't have it already. Oh, my voice. Beautiful. But yeah, no, I'm backing it up. I'm backing you up there.
I
think this is their week to. Oh, son of a bitch!
I was gonna say I half back it up. I mean, the Steelers are kind of on the get right train right now, and their offense has to kind of start rolling, especially for the postseason because they can't get anything going during the year. But this is Cleveland's chance to kind of punch them in the mouth and make their case to obviously get in the playoffs. 10 points is a lot for one of the best defenses in the league. I'm a believer in Cleveland, though. I have been pretty much all season. I would have to lead in Cleveland double digits here just because I like the Cleveland Steamers.
Interesting. Okay.
Sorry, did Mano want to say anything?
No. You covered it. I just think it's time for that offense to get on track. I think last week Ben Roethlisberger was calling his own plays in the second half against the Colts.
And that's why when you saw that,
I read that
incredible improvement.
Yeah, right. So I think this might be a different spot for that offense to kind of like I don't know, try some different things. Like obviously Mason
Rudolph's not going to call the same game that Big Ben would. That's
no. But I would imagine that the offensive coordinator is going to look at that situation and be like, all right, we could get some different plays going downfield. I know it's Mason Rudolph, but it's just if you get guys in different looks and different schemes, even in Week 17 when they go into the playoffs and are watching and their opponents watching tape, it's just another route that they have to learn or another, that the defense has to learn. So I think 10 points is a little bit heavy for me, but I think the Steelers are going to win this game if you like a money line bet.
All right.
Cleveland has to get into the playoffs, divisional game.
Pittsburgh's not going to let that happen.
Let's go see it. Let's go see it, Cleveland. But I think Pittsburgh has a better edge.
So I just gave Sammy my $50. Who wants this other 50 that I'm trying to? All right,
I'd like your money.
$50. What do you put my money on?
All right, so I'm going to put your $50 on Green Bay versus Chicago over 52.
I love that.
Over 52. Now, hear me out here. So Green Bay, obviously, I don't even have to harp on it. We know what that offense is. We know what Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams can do together. We know the running back trio, I guess. It's kind of a duo now because Jamal Williams is a little banged up, but we know what that running game can do. Speaking of the running game, you look at the other side of the coin with the Chicago Bears. David Montgomery the past 2 weeks has had really good games. I mean, he's struggled to get it going kind of in the past. But I don't know what happened with that offense. I don't know if it's Mr. Trubisky just being in there and he figured something out and that offense is moving, but they're scoring points too. It's not just the run game. It's not just Montgomery. It's that entire offense. They're putting up points. Last week, 41 against Jacksonville, 33 against Minnesota. The week before, 36 against Houston, and then 34 versus Detroit. That's not what
I hate to be like that, but those are four really bad defenses.
Green Bay's not a great defense. Yes, they just held the Tennessee Titans to 14 points, but they're not a great defense. And I think if that Chicago run game keeps Green Bay's defense honest, I think this is a very steady back and forth game. The Packers get their points, the Bears get their points, and I think the Packers end up covering this, but I'm not willing to touch that. So I'm going to go with the over.
Oh, I'm not touching the total. I'm touching Green Bay minus 5.5. I don't think it's going to be close. I think the Packers are by far the best team in the NFC, and especially with the Chicago Bears playing catch up the whole game. I don't know if Mitch Trubisky can make those big time throws that he's going to have to make. I could see the game. I mean, you could see Aaron Rodgers putting up 4 touchdowns. That's 28 points easy for Green Bay. And then all you need is another, 23 for it to go over, 24 for it to go over. I like Green Bay, but I could see an offensive shootout, but just give me Green Bay here. I don't care about the total.
I think Chicago will keep it close enough through, maybe 2.5 quarters. Call it like 20. Call it like 24-24 going into the fourth, and then a couple Aaron Rodgers touchdowns later.
Hope so.
The cover and the over.
Nick, was that a pick on Green Bay minus 5.5?
I will definitely pick Green Bay minus 5.5. It wasn't going to be anything, but I listen.
It is now.
I'm just way too confident in Green Bay, and especially what you saw at AJ Dillon last week. And I don't know if I called it last week or if I said something about AJ Dillon, but he ran for 125 and 2 last week. And who needs Jamal Williams when you have a guy like that's built like an 18-wheel semi truck just running right up the gut?
Right. He's doing for them. AJ Dillon is doing for them what what's his name? Is it CJ Henderson did for the Rams in their Super Bowl run? It is CJ Henderson.
Not CJ Henderson, Darrell Henderson.
No,
Darrell Henderson's on the
CJ Anderson.
CJ Anderson.
CJ Anderson. There you go.
CJ Henderson's the cornerback from Florida. He's on the
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah.
You're right. Too many Hendersons, Andersons.
All right, Mano. I'm giving now. I have $50 for you. $50.
Yeah, and it's I'm about to launch this segue from the Rams and their Henderson or Anderson into a Rams bet. I think the Rams -1 is the easiest thing on the card that you can bet for.
Even without Goff?
It's Rams +3 right now. You're getting 3 points.
I think you should take Even better.
I think you should take the points.
I'll take the Rams plus money. I'll take the Rams if they're favored on the line. I just think this Rams team, and I've been saying this a bunch, throughout the entire season, this Rams team, I think they're the best in the NFC West. And the winner gets the spot here, right? So yes. I'm taking the better team. Even with the Cardinals have struggled the past couple of games, right? They beat they were on a cold streak, beat the 2 NFC East teams and the Giants and the Eagles, and then lost another one. So, what is this team? And they would have lost the Hail Mary game if it wasn't, for a Hail Mary. So this team is somewhere between, underperforming and being overvalued. I like the Rams here. Rams get the spot.
Yeah, and with the Rams, they tend to do better when Kyler Murray is running around and, making plays with his legs. And if he's hobbled at all, then that offense doesn't do anything if he's not running the ball. So...
Yeah, and listen, if this is a must-win game, right, I'm taking the offensive wizard in Sean McVay, right?
He'll figure something out.
You could say what you want about Jared Goff. He's going to put Jared Goff in the best position to win that game because he wants the playoffs. He's not going to try anything out of the shotgun or out of the pistol. There's going to be their normal play action 950 motions that we see normally. And then on the other side of the ball, I'm taking Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey. It's over for them. It's the Cardinals don't stand a chance. Give me the Rams +3.
Sheesh.
I like that pick a lot.
Yikes. Okay. Well, I've looked at this game a lot the past couple of days, and I'm on the other side with Arizona because I think if Arizona jumps out to an early 7, even 10-0 lead, you're going to look at the Rams playing from behind, and now you're looking at a backup quarterback who hasn't taken an NFL snap all season.
This isn't Jared Goff. That's what.
Goff's out.
No Jared Goff with the no thumb Cooper injury. Kupp, no Darrell Henderson.
It's like John Wolford, right?
Yes. Again, somebody who hasn't taken one single career snap, and Arizona has looked bad the past couple games, but this is also it has the potential to be one of the craziest offenses in the league. And I know Murray's hurt and this and that, but you still have arguably the best wide receiver in the league with DeAndre Hopkins, a decent backfield with Kenyon Drake and Chase Edmonds. I kind of like Arizona in this spot just because they have a healthy quarterback, and I don't really know how much Sean McVay is going to do with someone who's never taken a snap before in his entire life.
I think that's it's not where you want Sean McVay, but I feel like Sean McVay is comfortable in that situation. I think he's smart enough to think that he can put anybody in his quarterback position and kind of get the most out of them. Their offense kind of helps that play action offense helps bad quarterbacks. Historically, that's why Shanahan has gotten by with an MVP season from Matt Ryan, and he hasn't looked the same. He gets by with Garoppolo in the Super Bowl last year and beat hard Mullins this year. Baker Mayfield gets by on the play action. John Wolford's going to get by on the play action on Sunday. Lock it in, easy money. Rams -1. I don't care if he's never threw a pass before. John Wolford.
Okay.
There you go. There you have it. John Wolford. Lock it in.
John Wolford.
Your hard-earned money. Sprinkle something on John Wolford all of the day. All right. Moving to make the case now. Nick made 3 picks in easy money somehow. I don't know how that just happened. But
I just keep talking. So I'll make one quick one. I'm gonna make it quick.
Another one? Another one. You're gonna make another pick.
Another easy money or another?
No, I gotta make the case.
You gotta make the case. Okay.
If it's my pick, I'm gonna be so upset.
My make the case this week. It's going to be the New York Football Jets +3 on the road against the New England Patriots. The Jets are. Sam put in our notes. Are the Jets a wagon? The answer to that question
is astounding. Yes.
It's a hard maybe. I think they're more of a wagon than the New England Patriots are right now. I've looked at Cam Newton the past 3 games, and he looks atrocious. That offense looks atrocious.
Whatever might be starting there, undecided right now.
Who?
The Patriots.
No.
They don't know who's starting yet.
I really don't think it. I don't think it matters. I don't think it makes a difference. There are already been talks about the Jets firing Gase. I know there haven't been any official reports out, but I know I think the fan base is expecting it, especially after this season.
Yeah.
The Jets have tallied 23 or more points in 3 of their last 4 games. Sam Darnold has looked sharp. He hasn't thrown an interception in either of those in his last 3 games. He's built a rapport clearly with Jamison Crowder, Brashad Perryman, Denzel Mims. They ran that little cheeky flicker wide receiver pass last week with Braxton Berrios that worked. And granted, listen, the Cleveland Browns are not a team to shake away. Granted, they had no wide receivers, but neither do the New England Patriots. Their number 1 wide receiver is Jacoby Myers. Jacoby Myers sounds like a law firm that I would go to if I got it at traffic ticket. So I think the Jets, for whatever reason, they were 0-6 or they were 14, 15 all season.
13 actually.
They were 0-13 all season. They bang off 2 straight, and I think they bang off a 3rd one here. Give me the Jets +3. I hope it goes up a little bit too, because I kind of wanted to
ride the high.
Yes, sir.
Ride the high.
You don't hate that
on
at
the
all.
Jets.
I'm gonna hop on. Like I said, I what I've just seen out of the New England offense is just absolutely abysmal. What are they going to do? Throw for 3 yards every down? And even their defense, they've had no Gilmore pretty much all year. You got no Donta Hightower, no Chung. Even McCourty's been playing at a low level. But what are you going to do when your team is down every game? Give me the Jets +3.
So you're hoping here that Adam Gase is hunting for another job, and he's going to pull every rabbit out of his hat.
I also
he's
think
auditioning for an OC job somewhere.
Yeah, apparently, listen, a lot of people around the NFL like Adam Gase, like in NFL circles. I don't think anybody in the media like him. I know fans have hated him, but for some reason, this dude has fans within NFL circles. So kudos to him. So if he comes out of this game, this Patriots game, and be like, listen, I'm gonna beat Bill Belichick. I'm gonna throw all my darts at the wall. Anything goes in this game. Let's go and win. Right? Let's finish this shit 3-13. Then I'm with you. Then absolutely, I think they can. I think they can beat the Patriots. But I worry.
I think it's a huge audition too for Darnold, and who's probably going to be who might be ousted out of New York pretty soon, whether they draft a quarterback or he just chooses to move on. This is his last chance to show what he's got, whether he moves on to another team, or looks for a trade, whatever. But he's a decent quarterback, and I think he can make do with on another team with a better situation. And I think that's the point he's trying to make here. And I could see him kind of popping off this last game just for the hell of it.
I think so too. I think they're going to try to put those guys in the best position to win, because if they're not going to draft a quarterback, that front office is going to tell Adam Gase, put the best product on the field, make our guys look better, especially the Sam Darnold guy. Run plays that he is going to succeed in every single time. Don't try to do anything cute. It's not worth it. Let's get this dude's trade stock up with one more game left. You know what I mean? Let's see what he can do. I like the pick.
All right. So since you just spent the last 5 minutes of your life getting lectured as to why you should put your hard-earned beans all over the New York Jets,
I feel like we're on a bad track. The Jets, John Wolford.
It's okay, because when you think you're on a good track,
spoiler alert,
you're on a
I don't
bad
think
track.
it's gonna get. I don't think it's going to get much better with my make the case, but we'll see.
Right, I'll throw in some good stuff in there real quick to make the case. So
right,
I'm going
give
to
me some actual NFL teams.
Yeah, give me some good juju.
Some real fun NFL, and that's going to be, Ryan Tannehill and Deshaun Watson over 56.5 in that Tennessee-Houston game.
That's a lot of points.
It is a lot of points. In the first matchup, they scored a total of 78 points. And I think it's going to happen again because both defenses look like doo-doo and both offenses look very good. It's as simple as that. It's, obviously Tennessee wins and they're in. They win the AFC West or the NFC South, I should say, with the win. And makes it that much harder for division rivals Indianapolis to miss the playoffs. And just, they're coming off the game where they only put up 14 points against those Green Bay Packers, but there was snow in the whole game. It's not Tennessee; they're not used to that. So put them back down in Houston where the weather's warm. They'll be running, throwing all over. So I think the Titans themselves will get them 40, 45. So
that's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points, but it's going to happen. It's good.
I think it's possible. I really don't hate that at all. I think it's really okay.
I think it's really okay. Love it.
I feel like you can never really be comfortable taking a 56-point over. Like
I love taking overs when they're irrationally high. If I ever see an over above 70 in college football, I will always take it without any research. It's just the way I live. So
okay.
Got a lot of points coming Sunday.
A lot of points.
Usually I have stuff to say, but I got nothing this time.
I'll shut up, Nick. It's impossible.
You guys want to hear some things?
My make the case is on the other is on this game as well. I like the Texans. I like the Texans here.
I do like the Texans as well.
They're home
in a shootout.
Right. First of all, they have to cut 7.5, so a touchdown, right? And this is right after their team captain, probably the best player in their franchise history.
Yeah.
You know what? Best player in their franchise history, because I can't name another one relevant or worthy enough for that.
Andre Johnson.
JJ Watt.
I put JJ Watt.
No, JJ Watt. David Carr, though, it's a toss-up. It's a
toss-up between David Carr. Are you forgetting about Arian Foster?
They're still not JJ Watt. None of what you've said has been close to JJ Watt.
Brian, Stick and I mentioned Brian Cushing. You can't forget about him.
All right, he could be up there.
He did a lot of
Tom Savage.
Did a lot of PEDs. All right, go ahead, man. TJ Yates.
No, so their captain, JJ Watt, best player.
What about Brock Osweiler?
Anybody on the defensive side that you want to? Lamar Miller. Anybody on the defensive side you want to shout out while we're here?
There's
other than JJ Watt. No. Whitney Merciless. I think he was there for a little bit.
He was.
Jadeveon Clowney for the couple years.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Tyrann Mathieu.
He was there for a little bit. Tyrann Mathieu was there for a year.
Bill O'Brien. This is like the Bill O'Brien. What the hell did you do train right now?
Yeah, they had so much talent. What the hell happened?
We didn't talk about DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, that's a good point.
DeAndre Hopkins too. All right, that's the only one I'll listen to. And everything we just said, the only thing I'll listen to in a JJ Watt argument is DeAndre Hopkins. But I think JJ Watt was more important to them long term. But that's neither here nor there.
So now let's go.
So, what are you picking? I don't even know what you're picking at this point.
I'm taking the Texans plus 7.5 because they just got absolutely destroyed by their captain and best player in history, saying like they don't try hard enough. This team is better than what they've shown and all that and the other thing. So I think they're going to come out motivated. They're at home and they probably want to try to play spoiler. So yeah, if this over under is 56.5, I don't think Tennessee's going to put up, all the points by themselves. They're going to put up 45 or something like that in that range.
45, 42.
Why can't the Texans do it too? I mean, this Tennessee defense has been up and down this entire year and they're still not, I think, an exceptionally good unit. That offense carries them. Best defense for them is more offense, but I think the Texans can score right with them. So I like 7.5 here.
I was actually thinking about taking the points, but I like the over just a little more. I might put them together.
I like the over too. That's why it's make the case though. So I got to make the case for a terrible Texans team to cover against a potential playoff team. Sure, why not?
Sean Watson might throw 5 touchdowns.
I don't know what Derrick Henry's rushing prop is, but I'm taking.
I think he needs 200 to get 2,000. I think he needs like 216 to get.
So they're going to feed him the
So
ball.
he's going to get 217.
Probably.
Yeah, give me the over whatever prop he's got.
In the words of Marshawn Lynch, he's going to run a motherfucker's face over. So
Okay, all right.
Moving on.
Everybody went. Make the case. My turn.
Your turn.
Okay, here we go. All right. Make the case. I will be making the case for the Tampa Bay Bucks minus 6.5 at home against the Atlanta Falcons. Now, hear me out.
I love that. I love it.
It seems like it's one of those where you should be scared of an Atlanta team that fired their head coach a couple of weeks ago, probably about a month ago, and that's it. But what I would be more scared of if I were the Atlanta Falcons is the fact that Tom Brady's not satisfied right now. They're 10-5. He's used to much better. He's used to the season going according to plan. He's kind of been building his offense the entire year with Bruce Arians, just piecing it together and really getting comfortable with all of his new teammates. This is week 17. It has some implications. I mean, they're in regardless, I believe. It's just a matter of whether they play the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Giants, or the Redskins, which is wild that they're all alive at this point.
Wait.
A West
or the
team.
who?
The Giants, the football team, the Cowboys, and the Eagles. Regardless, I just feel like I don't even know what the correct word is to describe what they did to the Detroit Lions last week. But it was bad.
It's just a massacre.
Yeah, I just feel like they're going to build off of that. They look like they were having fun. Tom Brady threw a touchdown pass to like literally every single one of his buddies on that offense. And I just feel like they're going to keep rolling and want to keep that momentum into the playoffs. I don't think this is kind of one of those off weeks for a team that's locked into the playoffs.
I am 100 on the Tom Brady wagon. I think this is a Super Bowl or bust for this Tampa Bay football team. And there's no way Tom Brady is not winning this game by over 14 points. I could see him only playing maybe 3 quarters if it's that bad, but
they're covering. That's the thing.
Exactly. You referenced to what Tampa Bay did to Detroit last week, and I think Atlanta's defense might be worse on paper. So Tampa and Tom Brady, my God, it's going to be gross. It's going to be really bad. And I don't think Atlanta's going to have Julio either. So it's just going to be the Calvin Ridley and Hayden Hurst show.
Speaking of gross, Nick, let's move into Sunday Night Football and end off the final regular season game of 2020.
And of course, it's the NFC East.
It's the NFC East. What better way to knock it off than with the Washington football team visiting the Philadelphia Eagles? The line is Washington minus 1.5. The total set at 43.5. It's an 8:20 typical Sunday night game. Washington's in with a win. Philly needs help. And then
Philly's
the
out.
other game,
Philly's out.
Totally.
Philly, no matter what happens, is out.
Okay, so they can play spoiler.
They're playing spoiler.
I guess I'll just run through the other scenarios real quick. Washington wins and they're in. The Giants win and they need a Philly win. Same thing for the Cowboys. So there you go. That's it. What do you guys think about this one? Because I'm leaning Washington. My heart wants Philly, but I'm just scared of the defense. I mean, I was on the Jalen Hurts train, and I'm like, I talked him up. I talked him up a lot last week. I compared him to like Kyler Murray with the body of Cam Newton, and last week he did not show me that.
It's his third game.
I know, but like but
it's
Dallas's
defense
has been playing good.
They're not that good. That Dallas.
They have pieces on that defense that can play. And they're kind of figuring it out more and more, like as season's gone on.
I don't know,
but also like he made some mistakes. It's his third start, you expect that, and I kind of see him bouncing back a little bit this week. And it's also I don't see Washington scoring. I don't care if it's Alex Smith or if it's who's the backup. Taylor Heineken, whatever his name is, like. Either way, I don't see really either team getting to 20. So I don't know what the total is, but if it's
43.5,
I could see an under there. I don't hate that pick at all, but I am leaning Philly a little bit. I think they want to play spoiler, but it's also like they're screwing Washington, but they're helping Dallas or they're helping the Giants. Like what's the worst thing for Philly? But they got their pride. They want to win. And she's on a good note, so I guess I'll go Philly.
All right. Well, I'm going to take the Washington football team. I don't think that Taylor Heineke is that much of a step down than Alex Smith. I mean, Taylor Heineke's got 2 legs. Neither of them have ever been broken. He doesn't have calf strain.
You sure? You 100% sure?
Are you sure? Have you known him throughout his childhood?
No. But I do know.
Keep going, Nick. I got you.
He did play for the XFL. I don't know what team he played, but that means he's got some true grit to him. Last week against the Carolina Panthers was the first time that the Washington football team has allowed over 20 points in 6 games. They've allowed the third fewest passing yards per attempt in the league. They rank top 10 against yards per carry. I don't really need to say more about this defense. I've been on the Washington football defense all year, and I'm going to be on them again this game. If it wasn't for Jalen Hurts throwing that 81-yard touchdown to Deshaun Jackson last week, it would have been a more ugly game because I think he did throw for 2 or 3 interceptions as well. I just don't think that Jalen Hurts has found his spot in that offense yet. Yes, I think he's comfortable, but I don't think he knows he's got the pieces around him. And he's ready to go. Not to mention Washington is 5-1 against the spread. Their last 6, and Philly's 2-5. I don't care who's under center. Give me the Washington football team, and they're going to win the division.
Yeah, I mean.
So Nick, you said Taylor Heineke never broke a leg.
Yes,
he broke his leg.
You're correct. You're correct. No, however. Taylor needed foot surgery after kicking through a pane of glass in an exterior door while trying to break into his own house. Heineke severed a tendon in the accident. So,
how long ago was that?
Never broke a leg, but kicked in some paneling and is trying to break in his own house.
Do we have a timeline on this injury so I know if he's fully recovered?
That sounds like a high school thing.
He was in the game last
2016,
week.
Vikings backup quarterback Taylor Heineke hurt in accident. So 2016, he was backing up trying to make the roster. Oh no, yeah, he's fine. But I wasn't hoping that he had broken his leg at some point. But I was low-key hoping he'd broke his leg at some point.
Part of me was like, that'd be funny.
Just so you can be a little bit wrong. No, I like the Eagles here. I think this is Doug Peterson's, much like Adam Gase's prior, this is Doug Peterson's opportunity to come in and be like, yo, like this is my job, right? I don't care if it's Carson Wentz or Jalen Hurts. Look what I can do with Jalen Hurts, right? I can make him dance and throw touchdowns, right? Like Jalen Hurts is going to be the quarterback of the future there. Whether or not they want Doug Peterson to be the coach there too is up to them. So I think Doug Peterson's out coaching. Like, look, we eliminated Washington from playoff contention with Jalen Hurts, and I called this masterclass of a game. Let me keep my job, please. Look, our defense is still too. Like we'll be right back in this next year. We just need continuity, and I think he goes out. I think Doug Peterson is a pretty good coach. I think he goes out and gets that win on Sunday night.
All right.
But I think Dallas is going to make the playoffs, by the way.
Stick, did you
Dallas.
make a pick, Mr. Tyler?
I didn't make a pick. I said I was leaning Washington in the beginning, but I'm probably just going to.
What's the over-under?
I'm going to hop on the Philly train so all of my rooting interests can line up. Sorry, Nick. I'm sorry. I had to do it. However,
if I gambled on all of my rooting interests, we would have a big problem here.
We would. We really would.
That's why I stay away from them.
Well, I guess if we're talking
I have a final thought.
Mano foreshadowed a little bit of Giants action. You don't think the Giants are going to win this?
No, I don't want to talk. Well, I guess inadvertently we're talking about the Giants. But if you were to go on FanDuel right now, you could bet on the NFC East winner, right? Obviously, all contingent on what is going on this week, and I'm trying to buy myself time because my FanDuel app doesn't load.
Hashtag worst app ever developed.
Okay, conference and division winners. Can I bet on the NFC East? Yes, I can. Okay, so right now you can get Washington football team at -125, the New York Giants at +360, or the Dallas Cowboys at +210. I don't know why I read them in that order.
Bless you, Nick.
So obviously, as a Giants fan, right, I think a good bet is the Giants to win the division at plus 360, right? Because all they have to do is win, and the Eagles to win. So, I mean, that doesn't seem that bad.
See, my problem here, and I talked about it before we started this is a game that if the Giants win, the Giants could win this football game and not make the playoffs and hurt their draft capital. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do. It's going to piss me off. It's going to piss me off.
I think it would end up getting them to like 9. So I think best value on this is Washington to win, right? The NFC East at minus 125. You're not in plus money, but I think it's your best opportunity to make some money. I think it's the easiest route to make some money.
But then you just
I think it's essentially a parlay on Philly and the Giants money lines.
Yeah.
It would pay out the exact same. Like, I'm sure it lines up. It doesn't make any sense logically for it to be any other way.
Right. But I like Dallas plus 210. I think Dallas always plays a phenomenal game against the Giants, and the Giants can never do anything against Dallas, like with any consistency. Ezekiel Elliott showed up last week and, kind of reminded everybody that like he's Ezekiel Elliott.
Before we close out,
I think if Dallas wins and Philly wins, like obviously Dallas is in. So I at plus 210, I like those. I'll take those chances.
What did you say the Giants odds were?
360.
Plus 360.
Yeah, the parlay would be 340.
All right. So
it's a little extra.
About the same.
Take your extra juice there. What do you got, Nick?
I would be wrong. I would be misled, and I would be a hypocrite if our last regular season game did not contain the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Not this again.
They're on the road against the Indianapolis Colts. 14 points. 14 points. That's a lot of points. Granted, Jacksonville's going to be without James Robinson, but they are going to start Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon is a tank. He's a seasoned veteran. The Jacksonville Jaguars have won one game all season. And they definitely lose this game, but I'm taking them plus 14.
You know what I like about this game? They already locked the number one pick in. Trevor Lawrence is there, assuming they want him, and they should. Trevor Lawrence is there already.
So let's win the football game.
Go out and win the football game. Exactly. Let's go. And even if they don't win, they're not going to lose by 14, trying harder than the other team for 4 quarters straight.
That's probably. I mean, the Colts need to win this football game, but they don't need to win by 14.
No.
And I don't think there's a way that they win by 14 unless Phil Rivers decides to throw for 4 touchdowns, which I don't really think is possible.
I do like the under here at 50. I like the under a little bit. And I think that plays into minus 4, unless it's like a 14-0 game. Then that would be all sorts of whack. But I think the lower the score goes, the better chance the Philly that the Jags have to cover. So give me the under, give me the Jags. I like the pick.
Yes. This is the first time in 17 weeks I've had somebody on my Jacksonville Jaguars train, and I am so happy.
When you win one game, it's gonna happen like that. They could be 17-0 against the spread, and I wouldn't be like, nah, I'm not betting them. They got one win.
Sorry, Stick.
It's just like that sometimes. So
I had
Nick, do you have any?
Do I have
do you have any closing thoughts?
Oh man, no. My closing thoughts contain the Jacksonville Jaguars.
No, yeah, Sam, give me something. Give me a closing thought. Sam, it's week 17. Give me some random players.
Give me a random
receiving yards.
Give me obviously an over for Derrick Henry rushing yards, and give me like an over touchdown prop on Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
If it's like if we can find like 2 or more or 3 or more touchdowns, passes obviously, and then or total.
I like it.
All right,
different league, but Friday. I don't know when this is gonna be released, but we do have the college football playoff. It's just brief mention. Why not? Let's do Notre Dame plus 20 and Ohio State plus 8.
All right,
I hate them both.
That's interesting.
Wait, I'm going to give you a little – I just want to give one prop, and my one prop is an anytime scoring touchdown, and it's going to be Scotty Miller in this Tampa Bay game. He doesn't have to score, and it's going to suck. He's going to take away points from somebody else, but I'm going to take a Scotty Miller touchdown.
We should have done this every week, but we didn't. But it's okay.
Call one last week.
Week. He caught bomb last week.
Yeah.
He's interesting. They got too many people over there for Tom Brady to throw to. Alrighty, so that wraps up our Week 17 episode of the capsON Sports Podcast. And depending on where you're watching this, go to YouTube, subscribe there. capsON Sports is the channel. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, capsON Sports. Facebook is capsON Sports. The website is capsON Sports. Everything is capsON Sports. The website's capsonsports.com, where we do have these sweatshirts along with other designs. Go check that out. Don't quote me on it, but there will be a free shipping sale, I believe January 1st or 2nd. Going to run for a couple days. But, yeah, free shipping is it's always good. You get like $5 off, $6 and
merchandise.
Rock some fresh merch. But as for Tyler Blumenstick, Nick Tobias, Sam Meehan, and Anthony Mano, this has been the final regular season episode of the capsON Sports Podcast for 2020. We'll be back for the first round of the playoffs probably next week or the week after, depending on the schedule, but we will let you know as usual. Goodbye.
Yes, we will.